Hey everybody, this is Off Script with a Super E, and I'm A-Train, and that's Super E right there.
What's up, everybody? How's it going, A-Train?
I am doing really good.
All right.
Yeah. What's up with you?
Not too much. Trying to get used to this new format we're using.
It is a little different. I'm usually a little camera shy,
Me too.
because it adds 10 pounds or 100 or whatever it is. I'm just kidding. I really don't give a shit anymore.
You get to the point you give up.
I am what I am.
Yeah, it happens.
So anyway, enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy, everybody. So, you got a little something to tell us?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about when I first started doing the undercover work in the Vice Branch.
Okay.
Back in those days, like I've said before, we didn't have any equipment or anything like that. And back then, we didn't even have cars to use. You had to use your own car to pick up prostitutes or make drug buys.
I remember you telling me that, and I'm blown away by that.
Yeah. And so, I had a whole slew of old Mopars that I used to buy drugs, but they were very effective.
Right.
But at this time, I was driving an unbelievably sweet 61 Dodge Polara.
Mm-hmm.
Had push-button transmission, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we were out picking up prostitutes. And I pick up this prostitute on the north side. She was a little skittish.
Okay.
The car relaxed her because the car at the time, was 27 years old.
Okay.
So she wasn't expecting that. She, if you had pulled up, back then, and something like a brand new Lumina.
Right. Immediately.
Or an Impala.
Yeah.
That had police equipment in it.
Yeah.
They're very suspicious of that.
Lights up here.
Yeah.
It usually makes them a little bit suspicious.
Even though I have locked one up like that. But anyways.
Yeah.
So this girl gets in the car, and so I can see that she's a little bit at ease because of the car.
Right.
But then she's looking at me, and because, young guy, the word gets around, hey, look out for this guy. He's got long hair. Yeah. He's got a beard.
Right.
And
just extremely steady, right? And,
yes, exactly.
That was the word on the street. But, yeah.
But anyways.
All right.
So she's kind of quizzed me, what are you doing? Why are you picking up a girl? That was a thing. Why do you need to pick up a girl? And you would come up with some bogus reason. Because my girlfriend doesn't like to perform fellatio or something like that.
Yeah, which is the technical term for...
Street term for head job.
Yeah, there you go.
And so you would give them some bogus reason. Well, now she feels comfortable, but they don't like to say too much, and they want to find a safe spot.
Right.
And what you need to do is find a safe spot where your backup, because your backup's trying to follow you.
Yes.
And with my car being as old as it was easy to see.
Okay.
So as she's going, let's go to a safe spot. I'm like, okay. So we start driving, and here's what they would do. They would, the whole time they'd be talking to you, they'd be turning around in their seat and look and see who was following us.
Looking to see if somebody's following you. Yeah.
And then so we're driving around, and then she goes, get on 65 South. And I thought, pretty ingenious of her.
It is.
Because if she sees a car, so I get on 65 South, my backup loses me, so it's just me and her.
Right.
And I'm driving. And so she goes, well, I don't see anybody behind us, and I don't see anybody in front of us, and nobody's next to us, so you cannot be the police.
There you go.
So she goes, what did you say you wanted? I said, I just want some head. She goes, you got to have at least $15 or $20. And I said, I got $20.
$15.
I don't shop at Walmart. Come on.
It's like a blue light special.
Yes, exactly. And so in my mind, I was thinking, okay, my backup's lost me, but I'm on the highway driving 60 miles an hour with a 61 Dodge. She ain't going to be bailing out, going anywhere.
Right.
So once the agreement was made, then I made the giant proclamation, I'm Detective Super E. I'm not actually looking for fellatio for U.S. currency. I'm arresting you for prostitution.
Uh-huh.
And I showed her my badge.
Okay.
And I said, and I'm going 60 miles an hour, so I know you ain't going anywhere. Right when I said that, the passenger door flies open. And in an old car, like a 61 Dodge, they got it's kind of got where you can kind of step, and she was literally standing up leaning out. Her body was out the car,
Oh,
the door
no.
open. And I'm freaking out. I'm going, oh my God. She goes, I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump. And I said, please don't jump. Please don't jump.
So, you're slowing down.
I'm slowing down. I'm
All
thinking,
right.
this would be a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
And so I'm slowing down. And so I'm down to 40. I said, don't jump, don't jump. I said, it's not that big of a deal. It's only a misdemeanor.
Right.
And then so I'm, she's still, I'm going to jump. She's taking 1 foot and getting ready to jump. And I'm like, okay, I'll just write you a summons. You know, you don't even have to show up. I'll forget about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Please do not jump. So I get down to 20 miles an hour.
Okay.
I said, I'm going 20. Just let me stop. Just let me stop the vehicle, and you can run out. And because it was once you run off the highway, you ran down the hill.
Right.
It was the area of called 25th in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And I said, you can disappear into the houses. I said, do not jump. Let me stop completely. And she goes, I get 20 miles, and so all of a sudden she turns into Joe Mannix, and Geronimo leaps out of the car at 20 miles an hour. I thought she would do a little bit of a roll.
Yeah.
I'm looking in my rearview mirror as I'm kind of slowing down, and she's bouncing and bouncing. She's bouncing so fast, she's catching up with me as I'm slowing down and bounces past me. I'm like, oh my God, she's dead. I get out to render her first aid. Mm-hmm. She jumps up, goes, fuck you, not to give me the double bird, fuck you, and runs down the hill. And so I'm thinking, I just can't let her go now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how injured she is.
Exactly.
So I grabbed we had 357s in, big chrome 357. They look like hand cannons.
Yes.
So I'm dressed in a white beater tank top.
Politically incorrect.
Okay, in a tank top.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Cut off jeans and work boots.
Yeah.
So, and back then I was in good shape, so I was able to run her down, but she had the adrenaline going, so she got all the way down the hill and was running through the neighborhood.
Okay.
And in that neighborhood, they weren't used to seeing hillbilly Mansons running through there.
Right.
So she's running down the street, and I'm running after her with my big chrome hand cannon in my hand. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, she's screaming, "He's going to kill me!" I heard that a lot with women running from me. He's going to kill me. All of a sudden, the doors are opening up.
Okay.
And I heard this one guy screaming, "There's Manson chasing, LaResha down the street. Manson chasing LaResha down the street." And people start coming out of the house. I'm like, oh my God. There's going to be little street justice, and I'm going to be on the receiving end of it.
Right.
So I finally catch up to her because now she's exhausted. Yeah. And she is so road rash. And people come running. People are coming running out. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to her? I said, I'm not going to hurt her. I'm a policeman. And look what I have in my hand. Big ass gun.
Did that quiet everybody down just a little bit?
Oh, yeah. It's like all of a sudden everybody's shoes were nailed to the asphalt. Uh-huh. And they're like, oh. Uh-huh. Manson's got a gun. And so
that's never good.
Yeah, I stopped, showed everybody my badge.
That's my phone again.
I showed everybody my badge. I said, this is what's the situation. I was going to let her go. Right. But she decided to jump out of my car at 20 miles an hour and injured herself. And then a couple of the guys were like, figures, dumbass. And they're like, damn, women just can't be patient.
And this was my experience too. When you explain what's going on to people, they're usually pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
it's like, listen, I'm not chasing them. I'm not trying to hurt her. This is what she did. Jumped out of the car. I'm just trying to arrest her.
Exactly. I said, now I need to give her aid, guys. Yeah. And they were like, well, they look at her. You should have waited for him to stop. Why didn't you wait for him to stop? And I was like, I begged her.
Why didn't?
And then they're kind of like, well, see you later. They go back in the house.
And that was it.
Yeah. And then I had to walk her back and say, I'm going to take you to the hospital. Right. I'm not going to jail. Right. So when I got, I walk her up and get in her car, take her to the emergency room, do her report, gave her a summons. But I was like, just get healthy.
Yes, just go in there.
I'm going to hang on to this. If you're out here doing this again, I'm going to have to turn the summons in. But if you quit doing this, I'm not going to.
Now that's cool.
Yes.
That's very cool. Besides the road rash, I mean, did you think that's all that she got?
She had a lot of bumps and bruises, but
Yeah.
the adrenaline was coursing through her veins so much that whatever, if she was injured more than a road rash, she couldn't feel it at the time.
Right. She felt it the next day.
The next day, she was like, that son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Wow. So Manson running through the neighborhood.
Chrome hand cannon
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of attention.
Yeah. Right. But didn't you explain yourself? That was good.
I made sure that everybody knew we was all on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, good police work.
Yeah.
Good police work. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
your plan was sound.
Yeah.
But, she decided to jump. And so she did a full Mannix roll.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. She was rolling, bouncing, like, it said Spalding on the side of her. She was bouncing so much. And so, and I was just watching in my rearview mirror. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like boing, boing. And then it's like, oh, she just rolled past me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she was bouncing.
She was moving. Yeah.
Another chick did that 20 years later, maybe more than that. I was driving along, and I was in a big truck, and she was really suspicious of me. I know you. Finally, after 20 minutes of driving around, I'm going westbound on Raymond, and I said, don't you remember me? I'm Super E, the police. And she's like, oh, damn it, you're right. Well, you got me. Opens the door and does the same thing, because this great big four-wheel drive truck that we got from the military had the running board. So she's actually standing outside the truck.
Okay.
And I said, okay, do not jump. I'm going 40 miles an hour. I'm going to slow down and stop. I know who you are, so I'm just going to get a warrant for your arrest. You can run away now. So I thought she would be reasonable.
Right.
I thought she'd let me slow down.
Right.
I'm going 40 miles an hour. She dove off it.
Okay. So you're telling me not once, but twice.
Yes.
The same scenario went down.
Yeah. And I'm just telling her, I know who you are. I'm not going to put cuffs. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let you out, let you run away. Yeah. And I'm just going to get a warrant for you later. So I said, so you don't have to worry about jumping. I'm going to pull off the side of the road. Yeah. I said, you got to let me slow down. And she's like, see ya. Boing.
Wow.
And I was like, when she hit the ground like a bag of cement.
Right.
Plop.
Right.
And I thought, she's dead.
Yeah.
So,
40 miles an hour, that's fast.
I stopped. I slammed on the brakes on the truck, pull off the side of the road, drive up onto the sidewalk, jump out to help her.
Right.
She gets up, looks at me, and starts running like a sprinter. I go, how in the hell is this happening? How did they keep diving out of my vehicles and able to run away?
Right.
If I played badminton for too long, I have to be in the easy chair for about a week.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So she takes off running. I just got on the radio and I go, well, patrol, got a white female running into the neighborhood in this area here, and she's dressed like this. And so everybody starts, all the uniformed people start racing over there because they knew I was in the area. Mm-hmm. And then I heard one guy get on the radio and say, I'm going to go over there and assist Detective Super E. His name was Mark Spears. Can I say his name?
Well, you did now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
He was well known for always finding, if anybody ran, he could find him.
I remember that, yeah.
And so I was like, well, no matter where she goes, he's going to find her. So it's been about 10 minutes. We're walking around. And then all of a sudden I hear, Officer Spears, I found her. She's over here. He was walking by an abandoned house. And he was like, he was a hound dog. He said he got a whiff of nicotine. And he goes, okay, nobody should be in the abandoned house. That house, especially smoking a cigarette, it's her. He goes in the abandoned house and finds her hiding under a pile of rubble.
You're kidding me. He sniffed her out. He's a bloodhound.
Yeah, he was amazing at that.
Huh.
And so I walked in and she tried to say, oh, he caused all this rash on me, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, because then I had the video then. Videos.
Oh, you had the video. The secret little...
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you what it was, even though it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. And I said, got the video, and you did the Mark Spitz dive into the pavement pool. And she's like, son of a bitch. Could I have a cigarette? Give her a cigarette.
Give her a cigarette.
She's had a rough day.
She has.
And she went straight to the hospital, and then she went to jail.
Right. Okay. So, listeners, viewers, I mean, if you're having a hard time like me, believing that shit like this happens, not once, but twice, his stories are amazing. And every time I think, because I mean, I've heard a lot of, we've done like 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Every time I think, well, he's obviously run out of stories. There it is.
Because this is what I did every day.
Yeah.
Every day, go out, undercover work, lock up, complaints of prostitutes or drug dealers. I mean, it was every day.
And when you do it so much, you're going to have some crazy stuff happen.
Crazy stuff like that.
Wow.
All the time.
That was crazy. The second lady needs to take some Mannix lessons from the first lady.
Yeah.
She's learned how to roll.
Yeah, she needs to learn to roll. She just did the splat.
Just the splat.
She just did the splat. But she's a fast runner, I'll tell you that.
Wow. All right. Well, here's the deal. Come back. Listen to some more. I hope you enjoyed this. I did.
Hit the subscribe button, whatever that means.
I don't know if we have one of those, but anyway.
Like and subscribe.
No, actually we do. We do have a subscribe. Yeah, hit the subscribe button.
They say smash it. Smash that.
Smash it. So, all right, everybody. Come back.